Okay, this will be as a boring one colour-wise. See if we can make this one come up a treat as well. Let's see if we can do that. I think we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it, or we're going to reduce it. See if we can make this one look really interesting, even though it looks shitty a little bit. It's nicely presented, but the colours I don't like. I don't like the colours of this one. Let's see if we can make it come up a treat. So we're going to use the copy density. We're going to lighten it. This one will have to definitely be lightened, otherwise it'll really be dark. And it's dark blue, and yuck, I don't like dark blue. So we're just going to call it that, and we're going to make something interesting out of it. What is it? It is FM 102.5 fine music. Alright, this is just a little bit, this is like orchestral type music, classical, or whatever you call it, orchestral. It's not my cup of tea. I like some orchestral music, and I like it performed on a synthesizer rather than an orchestra. And I'd like one day to write classical music for the synthesizer, not for the instruments. I want to make a piece of, but that's in the time when I'll be given brain implants to fix the disability that I have, or the disabilities that I have that are stopping me from being able to do this. And I'd like to make some pretty fine synthesizer music. But my biggest dream is to redesign the photocopier. But I'd like to perform music for the synthesizer and write music for that instrument rather than in a conventional method, writing it for an actual orchestra. So that's a different type of approach. I think other people have already done it, like Wendy Carlos. She's called he. It's actually, I call him a he because he was Walter, but Walter had problems with his sexual functioning, so he became Wendy, and that's how we know Walter Carlos these days, as Wendy Carlos. I still like to think of him as Walter, but everyone's entitled to their opinion on this. You know, if you want to call her Wendy or him Wendy, well, so be it. That's all right by me. But my opinion is that he was quite a good-looking guy. I saw a photograph of him when he was still Walter, and he looks really like a total technical, brainy sort of person. So I thought he was quite good-looking, not sexy, but he looked really technical, like a typical technician or engineer sort of a guy. But he wrote all this really cool music, and I think he has beaten me too, writing classical music, especially for the synthesizer or the music computer. I like his old stuff, like Switched on Bach, which is the first one that he did, and I really like the Well-Tempered Synthesizer, some of that. I don't like his more recent stuff. It's a bit too acoustic sounding, but I haven't heard all of his shit yet, or all of his stuff. So basically, looks like we're doing this as a negative for a change. But basically, yeah, he's written some good stuff, or she, if you want to call him a she. But basically, the guy's a genius, and basically, my hat goes off to him. I respect, even though he's had a sex change, I still respect him, and I really admire his ability in creating all this music, especially Switched on Bach and the Well-Tempered Synthesizer. And that's what I'd like to do one day, is to be like him, but not to be exactly like him, of course, but to be able to create unique pieces using a synthesizer rather than a conventional orchestra. So, but that would be fun. I really would love to do that. I've been in love with the synthesizer since I was 9, which was back in 1982. So that was a long time ago. We just got to blow this up a bit. So yeah, but I listen to lots of synthesizer music. I listen to Another favourite artist of mine, who's not a classical artist or orchestral artist, is the Human League, the pop group, the Human League. And they they're the guys responsible and the girls responsible for the song Don't You Want Me, which was on their Dare album back in late 1981, early 82. It was a really big hit. It was their biggest hit. I wish I could hear them more on the radio with new stuff, because they're a bit of an underrated band in my opinion, but this looks really nice. I see the Human League as grossly underrated. They do a lot of concerts and touring, which is really nice to see. They're still going. They're not stopped. They haven't. None of those people in the current lineup. I know it's Philip Oakey. There's Suzanne Ann Sully and Joanne Catherall. I think. Don't quote me if I've got anything wrong with those names. Please tell me in the comments. But basically, yeah, they're the three that get up on stage and do all the wonderful tours that they do around the place. Now, they recently, I don't know exactly when, but they came to Australia just not so long ago, and they basically performed with Australian synthesizer group called Pseudo Echo. So Pseudo Echo are another favourite of mine. I really love Pseudo Echo. So they're another favourite synthesizer band that I really love. So it would have been a really good concert to have both those bands playing and featured in this concert. So I would have loved to have heard some Pseudo Echo as well. Let's see how this goes. Unfortunately, the paper's curling again, as you can see, as I'm trying to wrestle with it. I forgot to press 2. So I'm just going to finish that. I'm going to just print that one out. This is the mirror image. Here we go again, stabilising image. This fucking idiot machines, these photocopiers. I wish a photocopier was designed by a person who actually loves photocopiers, but hey. Oh, we can't forget Bob Moog, who created the synthesizer used in Switched on Bach, and Walter Carlos or Wendy Carlos was working and collaborating with Bob Moog back then. So I'm really amazed with how that worked. And that's how, basically, photocopier companies should basically collaborate with more often with people who are going to use their equipment. And maybe these average people can give a good idea or a good rundown on how a photocopier should be made. But basically, the copier industry is full of money fucking greedy pigs who don't care about the customer experience, let alone how the photocopier is made and whether it's environmentally friendly or easy to dispose of without impacting on our planet. But anyway, that looks really quite interesting. So looks like we turned something shitty into something quite nice. Gotta go.